Alright, y'all. We're going back to fnaf ladies. This is like part 6. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, you goofy goofy, you, and you. Alright. Hi, you look goofy over there. Alright, so in the last one, we got a new tape when we did plush baby room thing. Just tape 10.
I was told I had 3 days to finish Jeremy's work, but I know it's just passing the time. They don't really expect me to do anything. It's just to keep up appearances until the buyout is complete. We have to look like we have things under control. There's another potential development studio that wants to pick up from here, but who knows what kind of lies they're being fed to convince them to do it. Against my better judgment, I'm going to do my best to see what's here, make notes of it, and try to isolate where this thing is hiding. At least then, the next person that tests this will have a chance of getting rid of it.
Alright, so let's see. We finished FNAF 1. Remembered that. We need to do Night 5 here. Finished all these. We need to do that. So, let's see. We need to do Funtime Foxy here. We're going to do Night 4. We need to do Funtime Freddy, so... Alright, let's see what Funtime Foxy is like. Move, flash and beacon, and cross the room. Alright then. I don't ever remember seeing this in a video.
Funtime Foxy is motion activated. For this reason, it's important to keep the room dark, as to not accidentally activate her. You have been provided with a flash beacon. Use it if you need to get your bearings and to ensure you don't bump into anything. However, use it as sparingly as possible. Proceed forward to reach the parts and service room.
He's right there. I don't remember how this worked in sister location. Okay, bro, how... You're just standing there. What am I supposed to do? You're just standing there. Nothing can harm me. Are you sure? Bye-bye, Cupcake.
Funtime Foxy is motion activated. For this reason, it's important to keep the room dark, as to not accidentally activate her. You have been provided with a flash beacon. Use it if you need to get your bearings and to ensure you don't bump into anything. However, use it as sparingly as possible. Proceed forward to reach the parts and service room.
Somebody following you, Matt. What? How? What? Bro! I didn't even... What? I was just standing still. That's goofy down there. I don't even know how you do that. I don't even remember seeing that ever being done. I don't even remember this in a video. I don't even want to do this. This isn't fair. Huh? What is this?
Celebrate the start of summer in style at the Living Spaces Memorial Day event, where you'll find the best...
How do you beat Foxy?
You're in a large room, and Funtime Foxy will appear in the doorway at the far end of it when you start to move. You can actually move with the joystick or thumbstick on your hand controller, or the W key, or whatever. Your goal is to get to the door that Foxy came out of without being jump scared. Most players get relatively close, then Foxy starts guarding them like an NBA player, and they just run around in circles until they die. This is a pretty common problem. It's hard to make forward progress while also dodging around Foxy, and that confuses a lot of people. Thankfully, there is a way to guarantee progress while also avoiding him with minimal effort. All you have to do is count your steps. Yeah, I know impersonating a Fitbit doesn't sound like too engaging of a strategy, but this is crucial to making sure you don't overstep and get jump scared. The magic number here is 8. As long as you don't go further and go in a smart direction, you should never die. While moving, look down at the floor so you can count your steps easier by looking at the tile. After 8 steps, stop moving and flash the beacon. Make sure to look up so you can see where Foxy is, then adjust your steps around that. You should just be able to walk in a straight line early on. You can actually walk like 10 to 15 steps right off the bat if you want. Just make sure to flash before you get too far in. Just hold W until you're satisfied, then look up and flash to see Foxy. If he's far away, you can walk 8 steps in a straight line, then flash again. Repeat this until he's relatively close to you or veering to a specific side. At this point, the goal is to drift away from Foxy while still making progress. This is when you start doing something that I call splitting the steps. Basically, you'll take 5 or 6 steps in a straight line, then 2 or 3 diagonally drifting to the opposite side of where Foxy is. This should be enough to get you away from Foxy while still making significant progress. If you walk into Foxy or use the flash beacon in his face, then you're dead, so it's best to get away from him before using it again. Sometimes he'll get extremely close to you and you'll have to focus on moving away first. You can do this either by swapping the steps and moving diagonally first and then straight afterward, or you can just spend almost all 8 steps going diagonally. Either way, prioritize dodging Foxy over making progress, but still try and get a bit of progress in there toward the end so it's not completely wasted. To summarize, count 8 steps, then stop and flash, take a few more when he's far away if you want to. When Foxy's close, spend some of the steps moving diagonally away from him. If he's on your left, go forward and right. If he's on your right, then go forward and left. I usually prefer taking 5 steps forward and 3 steps diagonally, but if he's closer, feel free to move diagonally more. Avoid using the beacon in his face and prioritize not running into him while still trying to make some progress. Once you get within close range of the door, he'll no longer be able to follow you, he'll just despawn, and you can walk the final stretch uninterrupted.
Why is there so many?
This should lead to a fast and safe victory, although sometimes Foxy will start pathing worse than a recalled GPS and just start appearing in front of you constantly. Remember, this is not a timed mission. Don't panic and keep playing it safe until he finally gets out of the way. I do want to make it clear that this isn't a cheat sheet or anything that'll just autopilot you to victory by taking 5 steps forward and 3 diagonal. It does require some situational awareness, and you will have to adapt based on where Foxy is, but this basic strat will give you all the tools you need to get an easy win. Just be careful and don't be afraid. The Blacklight version really isn't as bad as most people think. Foxy is replaced by Lolbit, who may be slightly more aggressive. I can't fully confirm that. The only major difference is that the room is filled with clones of the Funtime animatronics who will kill you on contact, making navigation a lot trickier. Stick to the 8-step strategy, but this time keep a close eye on your surroundings and try to memorize all of the nearby animatronics when you flash the beacon. They'll never move, they're completely stationary, and they have pretty small hitboxes, so keep that in mind. You can get really close to them compared to what you might think. You can also see them in the dark if you're close enough, so that can help. If you need to dodge a bit, but you're cut off by a clone, then there's no shame in walking backward a bit to get around them. You'll lose a bit of progress, but it's worth it in the long run. Anyway, unless you get terrible RNG, the middle should be mostly clear, so try and stick to there as much as you can. Just remember to stay away from the clones and backtrack if absolutely necessary, repeat the exact same strat, and you should be good. Lolbit actually barely changes anything at all. Well, that's all for now. Pretty short guide. Follow this strategy and you should be able to beat Funtime Foxy with ease. This is typically regarded as one of the more complex and difficult levels in Help Wanted, but as you can see, it's actually quite simple with the right strategy. Do you think this night deserves its brutal reputation, or is it way easier than you initially thought? Let me know in the comments. Speaking of which, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you'd like updates...
Alright then.